What's the speaker of the year in 2022? I don't know. Sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and let's talk about the speaker of the year and maybe 3 others that deserve honorable mentions. A big thank you and shout out to today's sponsor, Extra Wallets. That's right. It's the holiday season, and if you have a loved one in your family that maybe uses a large wallet that's unruly, uncomfortable, and may cause back issues, then you should consider Extra Wallets. This is my favorite wallet. This is the carbon fiber version. They have a whole bunch of different wallets to choose from, and what they do is they take down the bulk, and you only carry around what you need to carry, like 3 or 4 or 5 cards. Listen, we all know that there's a whole bunch of scammers out there that want to take your hard-earned money. It's happened to me multiple times. It's almost commonplace to have to cancel your debit card. With Extra Wallets, you have RFID blocking, so no one's going to be able to take your information with some type of Skynet type of scanning device. Not only that, they have a solar-powered tracking device that you can find your wallet in their app in case you're irresponsible and left it somewhere. So go to shop.extra.com/cheapaudioman to get up to 40% off your purchase. Give the gift of slim wallets. So these speakers that I'm going to talk about were the ones that really stood out from the pack. It doesn't mean if they're not mentioned in this video that they aren't good speakers. A lot of them were great, but some of them, well, were just more special than others to me. It's not always just because I liked them more, it's just I thought they stood out from the crowd in one way or the other. The PSB Imagine XB. This is a fairly small bookshelf speaker, and I didn't have a whole lot of expectations going into it. By the way, they're $649. They used to be $600, but like everybody, they're increasing their prices. Why? Because they can. Even though they probably had stock here the whole time and it cost them the same amount of money, they're taking an opportunity where they see other people raising their price. They're like, we can raise our price. Just kidding. Most people just don't haphazardly raise prices. And the thing I will say about PSB is they don't run all these crazy sales all the time. So it's not just all of a sudden going to be $325. They keep their prices the same, or at least that's what I've seen. These speakers put out a monumental amount of bass and play much bigger than they are. What I mean by that is, well, they sound like towers. I know it's hard to believe. Their low frequency drop-off is actually rated at 55, but man, this is why you can't trust specs all the time. They sound way bigger, way deeper than 55 hertz. They go up to 23,000 hertz and are fairly sensitive at 90 dB. They also have an 8 ohm impedance. So this speaker is easy to drive, so you're not going to have any really heavy duty electronics to get the best out of it. It sounds full, it doesn't sound harsh, it has a balanced sound signature, great soundstage and imaging. The only drawback is I think at $600 it was already a little bit overpriced. $650 even more so, but this thing sounds awesome. And I would have no problem having this be my in-game speaker. If you're in a smaller room, you don't even have to be in a smaller room. I'm in the living room. It had no issue filling up this room. Some people are going to say this maybe leans a little bit warm, but there's still a lot of detail on top. Great speaker. PSB Imagine XB. Let's go a little bit more affordable. How about the Elac BS41? My oh my, what a surprise. My budget recommendation used to always be the Sony SSCS5. And while it is when it's on sale for $123, which I think incidentally it is on sale for $123 right now, the Elac BS41 does have a tendency to go on sale. Goes on sale all the way down to, I think, around the same price as the Sony. This speaker's only sold through Amazon, so maybe it was introduced to compete with the Sony SSCS5 or maybe the Polk XT series. I don't know. The only thing I do know is it's small, it sounds really good, and sometimes it's super inexpensive to buy. Gishelli Labs had these in their room at Capitol Audio Fest, and they had them cranked up. The sound signature, again, is non-fatiguing, so you can get it pretty loud without really feeling like it's shouting or screaming at you. 4-inch woofer, about $115, $120, $125, $160 when it's the most expensive, and I wouldn't really recommend getting it at $160. At $125, absolutely. Take a chance. Sometimes they go all the way down to $80, I think. Sometimes they're below $80. There's also a crossover mod from my buddy Neil, who's a patron. He does a great job. It's not that difficult of a crossover mod, and it doesn't cost that much. Cleans up the bass a little bit. But don't despair. I think they sound great on their own. So the Elac BS41, honorable mention, 2022, almost speaker of the year, maybe. Wharfedale Denton 80th edition. This one, almost was speaker of the year. It comes in probably right underneath the speaker of the year. I love this speaker. Absolutely love it. The build quality is absolutely stunning for a speaker at this price. It is currently $499 on sale. So if you're in the market, now's the time to buy the Wharfedale Denton 80th edition. No, really, it's $500. $500. Real veneer, gorgeous. Not only is it gorgeous, it sounds great too. It also has a surprising amount of bottom end presence, and it's clean bass. It sounds really good. The top end is also natural. All the speakers I'm talking about, with maybe the exception of one, don't have a really exciting top end. They're just balanced, they sound natural, and they're not fatiguing. The Denton 80th edition are actually rated down to 44 hertz, and I'm pretty sure that's an accurate rating because I'm always surprised at how low these things go. If you get them within maybe 2 feet from a wall, it's going to boost that bass even more. If you want it cleaner, just pull them out. And it's easy to do so because they are such a small speaker. Not weirdly small, but you can get them anywhere. I've been pretty much using them almost exclusively as my desktop reference speaker when I'm listening to electronics and things like that. 86 dB, so it is a little bit lower when it comes to efficiency. So you may want to put a little bit of juice on here. But I drove these on a tube amp and they sounded great. I actually thought that the Dentons were the best pairing with the KN LA34 tube amp, which is 34 watts. So if you have a decently powered tube amp, you're not gonna have a problem with the Wharfedale 80th edition. They're really good. It's got a 5-inch black Kevlar cone woofer, has a nominal impedance of 6 ohms. A little bit harder to drive, but not impossible to drive. Wharfedale Denton 80th edition, runner up to the speaker of the year. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. We have almost 600 videos, so chances are there's going to be something that you're interested in the back catalog. So subscribe, like the video, check it out, and I really appreciate you. Emotiva B2 Plus. This speaker is something that I wished existed 2 years ago, and I actually talked to them. I'm like, listen, the B1 Plus are so awesome. Please, please, please consider making a 6.5-inch woofer version of your bookshelves. And they did. Guess what? They don't disappoint. This speaker it's not just a bigger version of the B1 Plus. I believe it has a bit of a different personality. A little bit warmer through the mid-range. Fuller through the mid-range. It also has incredible low-end response, presence, clarity. The AMT tweeter on these Emotiva speakers is so good that I always hear things in the recording that I haven't heard before, even if I've heard that recording hundreds of times. B2 Plus is similar to the PSB because you can put this in a big room and actually still fill the room with sound. Incredible. Incredible. And at $499, it's an absolute steal. I was going to do a speaker comparison with a lot of these other speakers, but I did this video instead. So it's kind of like a comparison. Personally, for me, I feel the B2 Plus is the best speaker that's been released this year, or that I've reviewed this year. I think it really fills a gap within Emotiva's lineup because they have great towers. The B1 Plus is spectacular, but there was nothing that really kind of got you close to the tower speakers or the floor standers, but now there is. They have been running They've been in my living room. They're right behind you. Now you can't see it. Every time I put a different speaker up, I don't listen to them very long. My living room runs mostly TV and movie duty, and right now it's only a 2-channel system, so I don't have a center channel. It's natural sounding, not veiled. Wonderful. I think if you are in the market for a bookshelf speaker and you like the looks of the B2 Plus, I absolutely don't think you can go wrong. I think it's the highest value speaker. I think it's going to check the boxes for most people. If it does get a little bit intense on top, just toe them out a little bit. Remarkable speaker. And that's why it's the Cheap Audio Man Speaker of the Year. Congratulations to all the speakers mentioned today in the meaningless Cheap Audio Man Awards. If you want to support the channel, you can sign up for Patreon, patreon.com/cheapaudioman. Every Sunday night, we have Patreon-only Zooms, Patreon-only Discord, Patreon-only Facebook group. You can also sign up for Amazon Music or Tidal Music or Rune. Links in the description. Click on the link, sign up. If you do, I get a couple of bucks, even if you quit. You can also use the affiliate links in the description. All of these are going to have a link. If you click and you buy, I do get a commission, but it doesn't cost you anymore, so it's a great way to support the channel. You can also use the thanks button. Buy me a cup of coffee, but don't feel compelled to buy me anything. So don't binge watch anything on Netflix or Hulu. Binge listen maybe through one of the Speakers of the Year 2022 and fill your soul with happiness. And with that, I'm Randy. I'm the Cheap Audio Man.